Did you grow up with one of those stories that every kid in your town seemed to know? Not something that you'd find in a book or online, just a weird local legend that everyone treated like common knowledge. For me, it was the field. We used to call it Clown's Hollow. Not officially. You won't find it on any map with that name. But if you say it to anyone who grew up around here, especially the older ones, you'll see something change in their face, like they're remembering something they'd rather forget. It's not a big place. It's just a patch of land where an old travelling circus used to set up when I was a kid. The rest of the town's built up around it now. Housing estates, a school, a Tesco Express. But that field, it's still there, still empty. No one's built on it. No one mows it or takes care of it. Instead, it just rots. And if you're stupid enough to walk past it, especially alone, there's something else you'll see. Not if you look directly, but out of the corner of your eye, just for a second, you'll see it. A clown, standing perfectly still, watching you, smiling, a hideous grin, ear to ear. And if you look, I mean if you really look, that's when it's too late. We all knew the story growing up. It was just one of those things like Bloody Mary or the man in the mirror. Only this one was different because it was ours, because it happened here. They said his name was Sprinkles. Real creative, I know, but this was the 1980s. People didn't question a clown with a name like that. He was part of a travelling circus that set up in that field every summer. Same rides, same candy floss stalls, same performers, acrobats, fire breathers, the lot. Except for Sprinkles. You see, no one ever saw him arrive, and no one ever saw him leave either. He didn't hang around with the others. He didn't drink at the pub after the shows, and his tent was always separate, smaller, a little warped, almost like it didn't belong. It was always in a slightly different place, set back from the rest of the circus. It never had a sign, but kids would wander in, somehow drawn to it, and they'd come out changed. They wouldn't say what happened inside. Some cried for days. Some stopped speaking altogether. One boy, and I'll never forget this, he was found in the school toilets, trying to claw out his own eyes. The town whispered, "You know how it goes." Parents blamed the circus blamed the kids, but everyone knew, deep down, it was him. "It's that damn clown," that's what they'd say. Things got worse after that. The final summer the circus came, 3 kids from the estate vanished in the space of a week. There were no signs of a struggle, no ransom notes. They were just gone. And then a fourth child went missing, but this one came back. He showed up at the edge of the field, barefoot, clothes soaked in something thick and red. Could have been paint, could have been blood. He didn't say a word. And when they eventually got him to speak, days later, all he said was, "He sees through us." After that, there were no more whispers, just rage. The parents, all of them, banded together. A common goal. No police, no arrests. They just decided. One foggy evening, they waited until the circus had shut down for the night. They crept through the dark, flashlights off, faces tight. They went straight to his tent. They say the fabric was thicker than it should have been. It was heavy, greasy, and that it moved even though there was no wind. Inside the tent, they found him. Sprinkles, still in full makeup, still smiling, like he was expecting them. He didn't scream, didn't struggle. He just laughed. Not the kind of laugh you hear at a party. It was wet, gurgling, like someone gargling broken glass. They dragged him out, and they tied him to one of the old trees at the edge of the field. And then they lit the fire. Some say it took too long, that the flames didn't catch the way they should have, that the wood was soaked or the ropes were wrong. But he laughed through all of it, even as his skin blistered, even as the paint melted down his face, revealing nothing underneath. No human flesh, just more of that painted, grotesque grin. Even when his jaw fell slack and his throat turned black, he laughed right up until the end. And his final words, whispered through flame and blood, were, "I see you." The circus shut down the next day, packed up what was left, and vanished overnight. No goodbyes, no headlines, just gone. But the field stayed, and so did he. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? A monster dies, the town moves on. But they didn't, because the circus never came back, and that field, no one ever touched it again. I mean that literally. They built around it new roads, housing developments, even a shopping centre on the far side, but not a single soul has set foot on that patch of land in decades. It just sits there, overgrown, rotting, like the earth itself remembers what happened. The tents are still there too, or what's left of them, sagging canvas, torn ropes, rusted poles. Nature is eating it alive, but somehow it never disappears. Kids used to dare each other to go near it, but no one ever went in. Not really, because the story didn't end with the fire. People say that if you walk past the field, especially at night, and you glance out the corner of your eye, you'll see him. Sprinkles, just standing there, still in full makeup, still smiling, but wrong, too tall, too still. His eyes like smudged ink, two holes that pull you in. And if, God help you, you turn to look him in the face, even for a second, he follows you. Not loudly, not violently. He doesn't scream or run or chase like in a horror movie. He just hovers, always behind you, always just close enough that you can feel his breath on your neck, that you can smell his rotten, scorched flesh. At work, at school, in the shower, in bed, you'll never be alone again. But no one else can see him. You try to explain, you scream, you beg, but no one believes you. No one helps you. And worse, they start to look at you the way those kids looked after his tent. Like something's wrong with you, like you're fading. The longer he stays with you, the worse it gets. You'll stop eating, stop sleeping. He'll whisper things in the night. He'll scratch at your ears. He'll stand in the bathroom mirror when you close your eyes to wash your face, until one day you break and you do the only thing left to do. They say that's why there's been so many suicides in this town, why so many people are found with their eyes gouged out, mirrors smashed, claw marks in the walls. Why no one dares to look too long at that field. Because once you see him, once you really see him, you're his forever. People like to think that legends fade, that stories like this, ghost clowns, haunted fields, that they vanish once the older generation dies off. But that's not what happened here. If anything, it's gotten worse. Did you ever hear about Ellie Cavanagh? She was 19, lived in one of the new builds just a few streets from the field. She did a live stream on Halloween 2 years ago, dressed up as a vampire, messing around with her mates. They dared her to walk the edge of Clown's Hollow on camera. She laughed it off, called it ghost story rubbish. She filmed the whole thing. She even joked, if he's real, maybe he'll follow me home and give me a cuddle. People still talk about that video. You can find bits of it online. Low quality rips. At one point, as she's laughing into the camera, walking backward, the chat starts blowing up. "Who's that behind you? OMFG, turn around. Stop the stream." People trying to get her attention. She looks to the side, just briefly. And that's the last clear footage anyone has of Ellie Cavanagh. Her phone was found cracked in her garden. She was never seen again. Or what about Dale Kershaw, delivery driver, mid-40s, 2 kids, recorded his dash cam while driving past the field on a rainy Thursday. His family says he came home pale as a sheet, didn't say a word, just locked himself in the downstairs toilet. 1 week later, Dale was found dead in his van. His eyes were missing. His fingernails torn down to the skin. Police called it a psychotic break. But if you freeze frame his dashcam footage right before it cuts out, you can see something hovering in the background, just for a second. Whatever it is, it's too tall, too still, and smiling grotesquely. There are more stories. A boy in year 9 who stopped speaking completely after walking past the field alone. A girl who smashed every mirror in her house before jumping from her bedroom window. But you don't hear about these stories in the news, because how do you explain it? It was the clown. Yeah, good luck printing that. People don't talk about it, they just look away, keep their heads down when they pass the field, teach their kids not to stare too long. Avoid the corner window on the top floor, the one that overlooks the field. And if someone disappears, they just say what they've always said. It's that damn clown. The thing is, I didn't used to believe any of this either. I grew up with the stories, the same as everyone else. I heard the warnings, I knew the field, even crossed past it more times than I can count, and I always looked the other way. But a few weeks ago, I slipped. It was just a glance. I was walking home after work, headphones in, on autopilot, and out the corner of my eye, I saw something. A splash of colour in the grey, like smeared paint. I didn't even mean to look. It was instinct. You see movement, you check. Human nature. It was only for a second. But it was enough. He's been with me ever since. At first, it was just a feeling, that prickly sense that someone's behind you. Then came the smell, and then the breathing, soft, wet, too close. I'd catch glimpses, reflections in windows, chrome door handles, even the microwave oven door. Always the same shape, Too tall, too still, smiling grotesquely. Now he's everywhere. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't even close my eyes to shower. I try not to look in mirrors anymore. He loves mirrors, he loves anything with a reflection. He crouches behind me in the kitchen. He hangs upside down from the ceiling in my room. I close my eyes and I squeeze them tight, but I can still see him. I still know that he's there. I can even hear his jaw cracking when he tilts his head. He never touches me. He just watches, like he's waiting for something. I don't know how long I've got. I've started twitching, feeling different, rubbing my eyes and waking up with blood under my nails. And the worst part, he's getting closer. And I don't mean distance, I mean inside, like he's moving inwards into my thoughts, into my dreams, under my skin. I'm not telling you this for sympathy. I know how it ends. I just wanted someone to know. So if one day you hear that I've gone missing or worse, you'll understand why. And maybe, just maybe, you'll listen. Don't go near that field. Don't talk about him like a joke. Don't even think about him. And whatever you do, don't look. Oh, he's behind me right now. Close. He's been watching this whole time. And I think he's smiling just for you now, like he's trying to find a way to come through. I think you might be next. Turn this off. Quick. Now, before it's too late. Oh God, he's coming through.